Hello and welcome to this Brain in Hand tutorial on how to use your diary page. In this tutorial I will cover how to navigate the diary, how to add events to the diary and customize those events, and also how to add activities, problems and solutions so that you can access them from your phone anytime. So first things first, I'm currently on the home page and I need to know how to get to the diary. I have a couple of options for this. I can click on Add New Events to Your Diary or Unplanned Page, like so. Or going back to the home page quickly, from here I can click on the menu icon in the top left, and under Events, just click on Diary. So I'm now on my diary, which is blank at the moment, and it's currently showing me this week. So we're currently on Wednesday 23rd, which is in green, so you know what day it is. If I'd like to look at weeks in the future, that's pretty easy. I can just click on this next arrow up here next to the week, and this is now taking me further and further into the future. To come back, I can use the arrow on the other side, the previous arrow, or more simply, I can just click on today and that will bring me back to the current day. If I'd like to look just at today rather than at the week, that's easy. I can just click on day up here. And now you can see I'm just looking at Wednesday the 23rd. Let's go back to the week view for now. I can also choose to zoom in so I can see in more detail. So if I click this little magnifying glass here, I'm now zooming in and I can go into quite a lot of detail. This is really useful if you have events which are next to each other and you need to be able to read them clearly. If I click the minus, I come back to the default zoom. The other option that I have here is I can click on this settings wheel up in the top right, and if I'd like, I can set it to a 12-hour clock, like so. So you can see it's now showing AM and PM. By default, however, it will use the 24-hour clock. So 1300 hours rather than 1 PM. So that's how to get around the diary, but how do we add events to the diary? There are a few ways of doing this, and let's say that I would like to add an event on Friday the 25th at 7 AM. One of the ways I can do this is to click in this square here, which is for Friday the 25th at 7 AM. So click. This, as you can see, starts up an event for me, which is on Friday the 25th and starts at 7 AM. I'll discard that one for now, so that I can show you the other ways. My next option is this plus button down in the bottom right here. If I click on that, it will create an event for me. By default, it will be on today's date, so I'm just going to click on that date there and choose Friday the 25th from the calendar. I want it to be at 7 AM, and that's easy too. I just click on the time, scroll down to where I want and select like so. And I only want it to be 1 hour long, so I'll click on the 2 as well and just set it to 8 o'clock, and you can see it also tells me how long that's going to be. So that's all good. I'll discard that for now as well so I can show you the last way though. So if I want to be able to set the start date, the start time rather, and the end time all in one go, I can click where I'd like it to start, so again Friday 25th at 7 AM, and I can just drag. So I'm still holding down my mouse button. When I let go, it creates an event for me which starts at 7 AM and finishes at 10 AM. Again though, I can still just click on that time and change it to when I'd actually like it to finish. So let's use this event to show what we can do. So I'm going to call this event Morning Routine. I can do a few things with this event. I can change the colour so that I can see what's what more easily. I will set this to deep purple because I quite like it. I can choose to have a reminder about this event, so a prompt will come up on my phone and let me know that it's happening. And I can choose when I want this to be. So let's say I want it 15 minutes before. So now, 15 minutes before 7 AM on Friday the 25th, I'll get a little prompt on my phone that tells me your morning routine is coming up. A morning routine is something that you might want to happen more than just once as well. So I'm going to make the event repeat. Now, I have a few options here. So I can make it repeat every day, every week, just on weekends, just Monday to Friday, every 2 weeks, or every month. I think I'm going to have it on every weekday because I don't want to get up that early on weekends. Who does? However, if I don't want this to last forever, maybe I've got a holiday coming up when I don't have to get up, I can set an end date for this. So let's say I want my morning routine to repeat every day in the week until June 13th, just as an example. Now I'll click Create, and I'll click Done. And you can see my morning routine has showed up on Friday the 25th at 7 AM. It has also appeared every Monday through Friday, but not Saturday and Sunday, in this week here, and in this week here, and then it stops on the 13th of June because that's what I told it to do. I'll go back to today, just so I can do some things with it here. If I don't want it to repeat, if I've changed my mind, I'll just click on under repeat here, weekday, and just say it's a one-off. And there we go. So if I click done now, you can see the repeat is gone, the event just appears once on Friday the 25th. Now let's look at how to add activities, problems, and solutions to my event. So I'll click on the events, and then I'm going to click on more options. You can see that from this page I can also change things like the name of the event and the start dates and time and the end time, just as I could on the previous page. Now to add activities, I'm going to click on Add Activities right here. When you build up a list of activities that you used in other events, they will show up in your activity library on the right here, so you can see there's one I've created earlier called Free Time. For now though, I'm just going to click Add New Activity. So let's say that I would like to get up as part of my morning routine. So I've entered a title and I will click Create. One problem that I might face with getting up, for example, is that I have overslept. So I am now creating this as a problem and click Create. When you create a problem, it will automatically prompt you to enter a solution. So for example, I can check the timetable for a later train. I then click Create, and this solution is now added to the problem. I can add additional solutions if I'd like. That's enough for me for now though, so I'll just click Done. And you can see that now under the activity Getting Up, we have the problem I've overslept with one solution, which is to check for a later train. And done. If I decide that I don't actually need this activity under this event, it's easy to get rid of. I can just click on the minus button on the right-hand side over here, like so. If I then decide that I want to put it back in, I can just click the plus button. You can also add one-off problems directly into an event. This can be useful if you don't want to break the event down into activities. You can just add the problem straight away. So, for example, if I didn't want to have getting up as an activity, if I just wanted to say it's my morning routine and I've overslept, I can add this straight in as a one-off problem. So let's actually get rid of the getting up activity for now and click one-off problem. This works in just the same way. I click Add New Problem, and in fact, because I've already used the problem elsewhere, it's going to prompt me to use that again. So I can click on this, and even the solution is carried over. So I can click Done. Of course, I can add completely different problems. So under one-off problems again, Add New Problem. Let's say there's no cereal, so I can't have breakfast. And again, I can create a solution, have toast instead. It works exactly the same way. I click Create, and then Done. If I want to get rid of one of these one-off problems, I simply click on it, and then select Delete, and then Confirm. Now if I click Done, I'm back into my diary. If I want to get rid of this event entirely, that's easy too. I just click on Morning Routine and More Options, just as I would to add activities. And I can click Delete down in the bottom here. But I'm not going to do that because I want to keep this, so I'll click Done. And that's it. We've covered how to access the diary, get around the diary, add events and make them start and finish when you'd like, as well as repeat, and also how to create activities, problems, and solutions. I hope this was helpful, but please do see the website for more helpful tutorials on different aspects of the diary, and have fun with Brain in Hand.